Hola, Buenos Aires. I'm Daniego, and I'm going to talk about how you can keep your Bitcoin forever, how you can hodl your Bitcoin forever, how you can make sure you never sell and never have to pay taxes on Bitcoin, but you can still get value out of your Bitcoin. Dollars, pesos, euros, whatever. I'm working on an open source project called Sovryn. And like its name, Sovryn is designed to build tools that allow us to build a world of self-sovereignty. For all of us to be sovereign, built on Bitcoin. We're able to do this because we're building a layer 2 for Bitcoin. We're building trustless, decentralized tools for trading, for lending, for Bitcoin-backed stablecoins. A few days ago, a big exchange, FTX, you might have heard about it, rug pulled $9 billion. This is because they were using centralized technology for decentralized revolution. Bitcoin is decentralization, and our goal with Sovryn is to bring decentralization to all layers of using Bitcoin, not just holding it. So today I'm going to talk to you about the most recent thing that has been developed by the Sovryn community. It's called Zero, and it's called Zero because it's a way for you to borrow dollars or other assets with your Bitcoin and pay 0% interest, have zero middlemen, give up 0% of your custodial control by using smart contracts. So how do we do this? There's no way for us to allow people to borrow with Bitcoin in a decentralized fashion if they're using regular Federal Reserve dollars or if they're using centralized stablecoins like Tether or USDC. If you do that, you're taking on all of the risk of centralized systems when you're using your Bitcoin. Instead, what we're trying to do is what we believe is game over for Bitcoin, or rather, game over for everything that isn't Bitcoin. We're building Bitcoin-backed stablecoins, and the way that you borrow dollars is that every time you take a loan, you're taking a loan by locking up your Bitcoin, committing to have your Bitcoin locked up, and then the system will issue for you Bitcoin-backed stablecoins. Why are Bitcoin-backed stablecoins so important? We want Bitcoin to be seen as at least a reserve currency, not just something that you hodl. If Bitcoin is only something you hodl, it's not clear how useful it continues to be. So we want to be able to drive commerce off of Bitcoin. We want to provide people, all of us, with the ability to engage in commerce without having to trust the government or a bank or a centralized stablecoin issuer. Everyone who's grown, everyone who's here that I've met from Argentina or El Salvador or Honduras or Colombia or Venezuela understands why you wouldn't want to have the necessity to trust these centralized intermediaries. People talk about Bitcoin as digital gold. They talk about Bitcoin as a reserve currency. This is what the dollar used to look like. Instead of saying, "In God we trust," which is basically saying, "Trust us," they said, "You can come with $1 and we will redeem it for $1's worth of gold." That was analog gold, and it was a trustless dollar. But then they decided to remove the gold backing, and instead of just being a certificate, a wrapper for gold, it became a wrapper for your trust in the Federal Reserve. If we want Bitcoin to be digital gold, we need to create a competitor to the dollar. We need to create a dollar which is redeemable for Bitcoin. And that is what we are doing with the Sovryn dollar. So how does it work? To allow you to move from this world where you can't spend your Bitcoin because you don't want to sell your Bitcoin. And so the value in your Bitcoin is trapped. And as a result, we can't build an economy on Bitcoin. And as a result, when I get into a taxi cab here in Buenos Aires, some of them will accept, dollars, but they won't accept Bitcoin. We want to move to this world over here where Bitcoin provides us with a currency which is stable and incorrupt and programmable, just like Bitcoin itself. Bitcoin-backed dollars backed by digital gold rather than immovable gold. And the way that these dollars are created is the way that you get your 0% interest rate. So When you use the Sovryn protocol, you create the system will automatically create a smart contract which is unique to you. It is tied to your keys. You commit to locking up your Bitcoin for a certain period of time, and the system will issue a value. So let's say you put in $150 worth of Bitcoin, you can withdraw $100 of value in the form of Bitcoin-backed stablecoins. This can be converted into regular dollars by withdrawing it. It can be converted into USDT or USDC if you want to use it on a centralized exchange. Some people still want to do that. And it can be used, and this is the most exciting thing, to buy more Bitcoin on a decentralized Bitcoin exchange. What's important here is that because you are lending to yourself, there's no payback period. There are no credit checks. There's no KYC. It's a permissionless, censorship-resistant system because it's a Bitcoin system. So Bitcoin in gets locked up, but how do you get your Bitcoin out? To get your Bitcoin out, you can pay back the loan, either from your salary, or if the price of Bitcoin goes up over long periods of time, you can use the increase in value in Bitcoin itself to either borrow more money, never sell, or to pay back the loan and unlock your Bitcoin again. So where are we with this? Well, we have the basic system working. We have early access. What comes next is we are going to be integrating into systems which will allow you to have a full banking experience, to do international wires, to have like a US bank account. We expect that it will be able to do other currencies as well. We expect to have a mobile app. And most importantly, we expect to see you contribute to a growing ecosystem. The developers who are here can continue to build on this just like the other developers in the Sovryn ecosystem. So I said that you can get early access today if you stay until the end of the talk. Scan this QR code to get early access to Zero. I'm Idanyago. I want us all to be sovereign. Thank you for your time and stay sovereign.
Thank you so much.